go. 420 W.E.E.D.
Well, I don't think we need to. You know what I just realized? I don't think we need to announce what they're listening to.
Yeah, we do.
No, we don't. You know why? Because on radio, when you're listening in your car, you might have to announce it. For the reason that you don't know sometimes what the fuck you're listening to, you just know the station you're on. However, on the internet, they know what the fuck they're clicking.
Yeah, but
it already says in words what they're going to listen to.
We got to make sure that they're, we got to keep embedding it in their head so they don't forget. 420 AM.
It's alright, I'm twittering the shit out of it.
DJ.G9D and Alex in the building. What's good, folks?
I'm twittering it like a pair of lesbians.
Okay. like a triumvirate of lesbians, actually. It's that heavy. Where was I? Oh, okay. So here's interesting. So
always straight into the news.
Oh no! But this is kind of this is old.
Give them something interesting. We could give them something interesting.
This is interesting. So there was a bill proposed a few months back. It's pretty. People heard about it. It's like they wanted to drug test people who received welfare. Remember that?
Usually it's the bill that's doing the proposing.
Right. Exactly.
It's a gay couple.
Well, you know what I mean. Like it was proposed by like one of the members of Congress, one of these Republican douchebags. And so here, get this. So once they proposed the bill, and then there were some changes made to it, which actually said that lawmakers would also be drug tested. And guess what happened? They withdrew it because obviously they don't want to get caught red-handed. That's some hypocrisy right there. Right there, that is some hypocrisy. And obviously it was proposed by a Republican. It was from Indiana, I forget his name, but and then it was amended by one of his Democratic colleagues to include drug testing for lawmakers. Right now, obviously, lawmakers are not drug tested, and they are the only union besides teachers that don't get drug tested.
Well, because they have coke-fueled binges with Jack.
Yeah, I mean, all politicians are on a lot of drugs, most likely. I mean,
you ever wonder what they do on those private jets?
Yeah, trust me.
They're worse than celebrities, those guys,
exactly.
please.
They're like rock stars. Why else would you get into politics? It's in order to get money from lobbyists and to be able to do whatever the fuck you want.
Because all those guys have, a master's in communication.
Shut up. I wish I was in politics, bro. I'd actually make shit happen.
Like what?
I would legalize prostitution and marijuana.
I'll only vote for you if you build a bullet train from coast to coast.
I can't be president. I wasn't born in this country, buddy, and neither can you.
You could be a senator or some shit.
Senators just a figure. They don't do shit.
Twitter like pictures of your penis like Anthony Weiner.
Yeah, except for my last name is ironic.
I was still pretty sturdy on the decision to vote for Stephen Colbert, a.k.a. Herman Cain, if he actually goes somewhere with it.
No,
I would definitely vote for his ass.
He suspended his campaign, unfortunately. That was
that sucks. His super PAC wasn't helping him out.
Yeah, it was. His super PAC was Jon Stewart, helping him out every night.
I got a super PAC like the situation. It's a political situation.
You know what I love? I love protests. You know
I
what
love politicians who get wasty pants.
You know what I love more than protests?
Jersey Shore?
No, I hate Jersey Shore. Topless protests with Ukrainian women. That's always good. But they were detained while protesting.
I like Ukrainian women in general.
Right, no, but topless and protesting, that's not terrible at all. And this was in Switzerland, believe it or not. They were actually... they were protesting a gathering of international CEOs in Switzerland, which is
let's just fucking protest business, the thing that makes the world go round.
Yeah, but CEOs get paid a lot to do nothing, so
because
they have a choice.
Because they're CEOs.
I know, but what does a CEO do?
Create the company.
Not really. He's actually appointed. He's appointed as the chief executive officer, which just means he has the most stock. Doesn't actually do anything, so fuck people. Think about it. CEOs. I would love to be a CEO, but it's not like they do anything.
Well, yeah, that's why we probably love to be CEOs.
Exactly.
It's not because I would do a little bit as long as you get paid a lot.
Yeah, but if somebody was protesting, if I was a CEO and somebody was protesting outside our meeting, topless, and they were hot, I would be like, officer, let's continue. We can let this slide this time. I think it's cold outside. Keep in mind. So these girls are like, probably pretty. It's Switzerland in the middle of January. I'm not, I'm no meteorologist, but I'm assuming it's pretty freezing in Switzerland in the middle of January.
It was definitely pretty nipply.
Yeah, exactly. Very nipply outside, and they were, this is the World Economic Forum, basically. A lot of CEOs came, and hey, listen, I don't think that I don't think they were wrong. I mean, all they did, they weren't violent. They didn't try to shoot anybody down. They weren't stopping traffic. They were just a couple.
Shoot anybody down with
Yeah.
breast milk.
Yeah, exactly. They were just chanting "Crisis made in Davos," which is the city in Switzerland. They also had
That's
signs.
a good city, by the way, Davos.
And fantastic. I wish I was there this past weekend.
According to recent polls, it's only one down from Zurich
There you go. Where, in Switzerland or in general?
in Switzerland.
Down from what? According to
The top 10 cities in Switzerland's list,
where does Bern come in?
like number 4 or 5.
What's 3?
I'm just making this shit up.
All right, well then shut the fuck up.
This is like my personal opinion on Switzerland.
Actually, one of their posters that they held up was actually pretty funny. They had one that said "Gangsters Party in Davos."
They do, bro.
Exactly. And poor because of you. I guess they're hot at least. So I mean, if I was a
They
hot
may
chick, it's hard to be
complain in
poor.
Zurich, but they definitely get it popping in Davos.
Yeah, I never seen a hot chick that's poor though. So I'm not sure what they're talking about.
I have no clue.
And I want to wish you a happy.
Switzerland, the country that hates the car.
Yeah, does it? There's not a lot of cars
Yeah,
there.
they have crazy eco restrictions on everything. And
Really?
They just hate the car.
Do they have
all these-
any?
God forbid you ever
manufacturing?
put a catback exhaust in your car, you can go to prison for life.
Do they have any Swiss cars, or they mostly drive other European cars?
Well, they have Rinspeed, which is like a one-off kind of company that makes like specialty novelty kind of
But
cars.
is there a lot of them in Switzerland?
No, this Rinspeeds are like $500,000 to a
What do they
mil.
mostly drive? Like Peugeots there and shit?
Peugeot,
Renaults and shit?
European cars, you know,
Yeah,
fucking
Mercedes.
Opels and fucking Mercedes, and the standard shit, you know. Plus,
Yeah.
of course, the Renault and
Well, I
the,
thought they would have
the
more French
Citroens.
cars. They're right
They have
there.
the Citroens there, and the Peugeots and the Renaults. Those are all French cars. By the way, they're all terrible looking for the most part.
I don't.
Except for the new Citroens, they're pretty good.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
a fan. You highly recommend them.
I don't recommend. I can't say I recommend them, but they do look good. They're
Interesting.
very unique car company, Citroen.
So, well, let's see here.
They made one of the ugliest cars I've ever seen in my life, called the Citroen 2CV. It's a classic. It is disgusting. Originally, it came as a farmer's car. Google it.
So how's it a classic then? A farmer's car.
It's a classic.
Like a tractor.
Look up the 2CV. I'm telling you, it is a fucking hideous looking thing. It's something that a troll would drive.
I thought trolls lived under bridges.
Well, whatever. Or a leprechaun. You know, they're down with the times.
Our
They
old
know-
troll trolling would know a lot about that.
They have a little troll license and shit.
True. That's interesting. So, what else is going on? Anything you would like to point
According to recent polls, people that say that's interesting don't really mean it.
out? You're right, actually. I do say that as filler. It's not that interesting. But it should be interesting. That's why we're doing it.
I'm not saying shit because it's interesting to you. I'm actually saying shit in case it might be interesting to someone else. I don't give a fuck what's interesting to you.
What do you mean?
We
you
already
don't give a
we're
fuck?
way past that.
Are you trying to hurt my feelings?
No. According to recent polls, hurting a co-host's feeling is funny for ratings.
You're right.
It's great for
absolutely.
ratings.
I'm going to be hurting your feelings a lot.
Look what it did for Regis's ratings when Kath Lee had that whole spiral.
Spiral? You mean when her husband fucked the stewardess in the butt?
Yeah.
I don't know if Regis was really that down with that.
You know he was talking all that bullshit, though.
Oh, well, maybe behind her back.
Yeah. I don't know if you hear that, guys, but you can't. We used to wait till break, but now it's just all out.
Yeah, no, we're all out. I think I need to pack the bong again, though. In all seriousness. No, I think I just burned my thumb. That's about it. On that one, I was unsuccessful. It sounded good, but it was not as successful as it sounded. Unfortunately.
Hold on. I'm checking the. According to recent polls, on-air injuries are actually great for ratings.
That's true.
This is
Everyone
why football
loves
does so good.
situational comedy. I know everyone loves what's it called people getting hurt. It's always good.
People getting hurt. This is why those dating shows are so popular on cable, because people get hurt emotionally, and then sports are popular and racing is popular because people just get hurt physically.
Well, yeah, most people just want to crash. Like if I ever like flip around the channels and there's a race on, I just hope for a crash.
Oh, the 24-hour Rolex Cup was today,
And
from Daytona, Florida.
I didn't win. I don't think.
No, there's only one team there's only two teams I really liked. That was the Brumus Porsche, which I think won, and the Risi Competizione team from Italy. They're pretty good. I like them too.
Yeah. So who won? Did either of those win?
You know what? I didn't watch the last hour, but I'm pretty sure the Brumos Porsche had it locked, and I know the Risi Competizione car was number 4 and 5 the whole day. I don't know. I'm gonna double check that during the break, but that was good times. Brumos Porsche is a beast of a team. Nothing went wrong. Alan McNish was in the race. He was responsible for taking one of those fucking Audis out. Or he was in the Audi. I don't remember. No, I think he was in the... Yeah, he was in the Audi P1 car. Yeah,
Technical difficulties.
No, it's not technical. I'm sorry. I just dumped it by accident.
Dumping? You don't dump. This isn't like live.
Yeah, this isn't the bathroom. Stop dumping.
We don't need to dump anything. This isn't live. We're not.
No, I know it's not live,
delay.
but it kind of dumped anyways. I was flailing my fucking stupid hands around. And
yeah. Okay. Well, you know what? You'll take care of that at the editing. You know, don't talk about it on air. It's unnecessary.
Oh, so, for once, you're right. Flailing arms in studio, not a good thing according to recent polls.
You will send him an invoice.
Yeah, 7 out of 11 people said it wasn't a good thing.
All right, no doubt. Don't flail your arms, buddy. You're not trying to sell cars.
You'd be like, oh, don't flail your arms, man. This isn't a rave party, all right?
Yeah. I don't see any glow sticks.
Yeah, that's because, yeah. Do you know actually why they don't sell glow sticks at events and stuff?
Because they're toxic inside?
No, because they did it. Remember back in the day in the city when Sound Factory was around, they tried to pass this ordinance that was included with some other motherfucking ordinance, and it was like a stash house or a safe house law of some sort. And somewhere in the law it mentioned that if you're throwing a party and there's a lot of people with glow sticks, chances are they're using ecstasy, and you should use that as a sign to, like, start busting people.
That's jumping to conclusions.
So that's why a lot of places don't let you bring your own glow sticks, and they don't sell glow sticks.
Really? I remember bringing glow sticks to parties, and
but that doesn't stop anybody from painting themselves in blacklight paint.
Yeah, it's jumping to conclusions. I don't need glow sticks to enjoy ecstasy.
I think the better indicator would be like a light up pacifier.
I don't think I need glow sticks to enjoy ecstasy. That's for sure.
Yeah,
there's already enough flashing lights at clubs and trance music, so I don't think that I need. Glow sticks are like nice.
6969 AM WXTC.
Our sister station in Kalamazoo.
Broadcasting live from Morocco. That's
right.
What's the capital of Morocco? It's Morocco.
No, it's not.
It's not, right?
Casablanca, bro.
I gotta stop making shit up.
Casablanca, it's a pretty famous movie, so they say.
So we're actually broadcasting live from Casablanca, Morocco right now?
Sure.
Wow.
Wherever your imagination takes you, my man.
That's right.
All right. Well, moving on. I don't know if you saw that thing this past week where after Obama had a State of the Union and Jan Brewer, the governor of Texas, she waved her finger.
It was a
at
really
him.
long fucking State of the Union.
I know, right? He's really
just the
good at
length
this.
of it was a turnoff. I wanted to catch some of it on YouTube, and I was like, "What?"
I saw some parts of it. All you talk about was yada yada yada. The economy grew. I killed Obama. The economy grew. I killed Obama. That was like that. He repeated the same thing.
You mean Bin Laden?
I mean, yeah. What did you say? Oh,
you just said he killed Obama.
Suicide. No, I'm joking. He killed Osama. He said it like 17 times, literally. Talking about how teamwork and how like as if he was there.
Thing, right?
No, it's very different actually. This isn't Fox News. Take it easy, bro.
You take it easy, Obama, Osama.
Okay, I apologize.
That's something Glenn Beck would do.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't say it was the same thing. I said it was different. Anyway, she faked this finger at him like she was like a pissed off, like if she was like his mom or something, and he didn't call home after like sleeping out with his friends or some shit. It was pretty funny. She just waved her finger at him, and he was like, "Bitch, what you talking about? I ain't got an answer to you. You're the governor of fucking Arizona." That's like being like principal of like a high school to him. He doesn't care.
That's like being principal of like Springfield Elementary School.
Dude,
that's like being Skinner.
Yeah,
Nobody
exactly.
takes him seriously.
Yeah, Obama's like, bitch, he had this look in his face. He's like, what? How dare you point your finger at me? I ain't taking this crap from you. Whatever. I mean, honestly, she's just trying to get a nice photo op, trying to get reelected because she knows she fucked up.
The State of the Union where he was kind of dropped that comment about his wife crying about something.
I don't know.
Like spilled chocolates or some shit.
Spilled milk.
Spilled milk, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's right.
That was State of the Union?
That was on Tuesday. I don't know what your speech. I didn't listen to the whole thing. I saw parts of it. I read parts of it. Just did some research. I mean, from the basis of it, he really threw out some interesting figures in there. He did grow jobs in the last quarter, 2 quarters, whatever. And there was a couple other things that were positive. But still, I'm still kind of pissed at him for the whole healthcare thing. No public option, the whole marijuana raids, all that. No financial
that is very
bankers.
True.
No one got arrested for the debacle of 08. So
according to recent polls, over 50% of the 50% of people that voted for him last time won't vote for him again.
And he'll still win in a landslide. Probably, unless Ron Paul wins. Republican nomination,
which is impossible.
Yeah. The Republicans are literally too stupid to elect the
personally,
right
I
guy.
think if look at it this way: if Ron Paul wins, in a few months, that whole 2012 shit, it's probably going to happen.
Maybe, but I don't think he's going to win. The Republicans are too stupid to elect the right guy.
He may have the right intentions, but he may plunge the world into World War III.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, he wants to avoid any kind of conflict at all means, at all possible angles. All he's trying to do is
once the cat's away, the mice will play.
You think so? I don't know. I mean, I don't think we're not in the right countries though. It's not like we're causing any. We're causing more issues, if anything. If we went to Saudi Arabia,
he's gonna look.
Pakistan,
if he pulls the military out of a lot of places, a lot of America's interests is going to be lost.
American interests will be lost. Yes, we won't be a superpower anymore. You're right. But is that really something that we need? Would our quality of life,
then Russia and China are going to snatch it.
Yeah, but is our quality of life really going to change?
Is it?
I don't think so. I think the people who are on top.
How the fuck do I know?
Well, listen. Are you really doing that
Call
great?
me now for your free psychic reading.
Cleo. That's true. Well, listen. I don't know. I mean, it depends. But we're not in the right countries as it. Yeah, we have military bases all over the world, but we don't need to be in Afghanistan or Iraq. I mean, we're out of Iraq technically now. We just have Blackwaters over there, just messing shit up. But there's no troops per se, except for a few. And then Afghanistan's just a bunch of fucking hill people that don't know anything. We should be in Saudi Arabia, we should be in Pakistan, possibly Iran, but that's it. But those three countries actually pose a problem because they have money. You know what I mean? As nuclear weapons, where Afghanistan and Iraq are just really po. Yeah. They can't even afford the OR. They're just po, man. I'm telling you, that's what it is. And we're in the wrong countries. We're in the wrong countries for economic reasons, but we're not actually making the world safer. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a coincidence. We should be focusing more on stateside, you know what I mean, here, taking care of fundamental Muslims in America, which is actually going to be a growing problem. If that's what you're talking about, fine. But that's not what we're doing. We're devoting all our resources internationally, which is unnecessary at the moment.
G9D is not a psychic. He's merely just a racist who believes that all stereotypes are true.
No, I don't. That's actually not true.
And
but
dictate the future.
You know what? I do not dictate. I don't think stereotypes are true at all. There's an exception to every rule. You know what I mean?
He's the type of dude whose slogan is "Rules are meant to be broken."
There's an exception to every rule, but I mean, you gotta look at facts and reality.
you said,
what I mean?
But
let's put it this way: are all Jews cheap? No, necessarily, because there's people who give to charity. Are all blacks good at basketball? No, not necessarily. Look at Steve Urkel. But you know what I'm saying? Are all Hispanics going to steal from you? No, not necessarily. But there's a lot of stereotypes that have some truth to it. There's exception to every rule. That's why stereotypes aren't true. But here's the facts: if there's terrorist activity, 98% of the time, it has to do with fundamentalist Muslims. Yes, there is exceptions to that rule. Timothy McVeigh.
Did you know that most of terrorist activity is communication?
Yeah, it is. You're right. It's usually hacking and all that other stuff.
Oh yeah, that's right. You have the degree in communication.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is,
imply that you're a terrorist.
But that's different. That's not going to cost anybody's lives.
You just blow up the bathroom mostly.
That's true on occasion. Actually, after this weekend, I had fondue on Friday. That shit destroys
man,
you.
That's the cheesy goodness.
Oh, it's so nice. It's so good going down. It's so bad coming out.
Hashtag shitty pants.
Yeah, no, I went to the melting pot and oh man, the food is amazing. And they give you the meat to cook in the boiling.
Oh, that's just the best
broth.
when they give you when you cook
the
your
raw
meat on a stick.
It feels so satisfying. You're I'm making this meal myself. And you dip it in a sauce of your choosing. And then the dessert is fantastic. Fucking chocolate and melted caramel with bananas in it. Oh man, mad expensive though. I gotta hit him.
I'm not a huge fan of stuff with bananas in it. I think that's way overblown and overrated. I just don't. Well,
it was a caramel. It was melted caramel with bananas in it, so it was pretty good. I like the chocolate one more though. The dessert that I had, the chocolate was money. That was on the spot. But yeah, fondue. It's it comes in it's liquid coming in and it's liquid coming out. That's the only problem. But it
turns your insides to liquid.
Yeah, no, but it was pretty good. I was really, really, really fucking satisfied with that meal. That's for sure.
It's like Drano for the gut.
So what do you think about Mitt Romney paying 13% of income tax and you paying 30%? You like them numbers?
Remember that comment he made about making a $10,000 bet to Rick Perry?
Yeah.
I think he should make a new bet with Gingrich on the Super Bowl where he shaves his whole head if one of the teams loses.
That'd be funny, actually. Well, Mitt Romney is a governor of Massachusetts, so he's obviously going to go for the Patriots. So if the Giants win, Mitt Romney shaves his head. Governor Romney, if you're hearing this, please.
Yes, definitely.
Let's do this. I will shave my head if the Patriots win, and you shave your head.
No, challenge Gingrich to it.
Gingrich is from Georgia. Fuck Gingrich. He's not going to care about the Giants. He doesn't deserve to be a Giants fan. He's a Falcons fan, if anything. He got destroyed.
Well, anyways, it would make Romney seem more like more like the average guy.
It really would, because he's not. Right now, he's a
But-
Mormon robot who wants to build a spaceship to go into outer space to visit his ancestors. If you know anything about Mormonism, you'd find that funny.
He's ready for that.
He's ready to visit his ancestors. I love how Newt Gingrich though is like wants to have a colony on the moon in 12 years. Like, oh, this guy knows nothing about any kind of space exploration.
He, sir, is an idiot.
What are you talking about?
Why do we need a moon base?
We don't. We want to fuck up. We fucked up one planet. We want to fuck up a fucking satellite planet. What the hell is wrong with you?
I mean, what does he want with it?
Nothing. He doesn't understand how it works. He thinks manned missions are like, oh, so simple. They're not. Unmanned missions we do all the time, but manned missions are complicated, man. Like only the U.S. really has done a successful manned mission.
Well, they definitely got a moon rover ready.
Yeah, there's already rovers on Mars and everything. We're finding out as much.
No, yeah, they made a whole new moon buggy, like I don't know, like 6 years ago.
Yeah, but we don't need to go to the moon.
And they never sent it up to the moon because that program was canceled by Obama.
Well, yeah, good, because NASA doesn't need to be spending. We got all these other problems. Space exploration is not a top priority in my book.
I believe science in general is a top should be.
It is, but there's so much other stuff on Earth we need to continue doing and figure out energy sources and shit like that. Instead, we're in the moon. We're not going to get that much from the moon admittedly, where it's worth it for now. Let's focus on the Earth's resources and trying to save them.
I say we cut the whole federal government down almost completely, and just each state make bylaws on the state level.
That would be smart, absolutely. But the federal government does have to have certain things that it needs to do.
Yes, but I'm saying controlling like the war on drugs, for example.
That needs to stop.
That's a goddamn waste of money. Leave that to the states. Like if a state wants to waste all its money on fighting drugs, let them fucking do it.
And most of them would, but then like there's smart states like this one, New York and shit, they wouldn't give a shit. They would be like decriminalize it. It is basically decriminalized.
Basically.
On a state level.
The reason why you say basically and the reason why I would emphasize basically is because police still fucking bust you.
Yeah, but they won't get. You just get a civil citation if it's under 25 grams.
No, most of the time you spend the night and there's no civil citation.
Well, you're an idiot.
They still fuck you.
If you know the law, then you wouldn't get that. But if you get,
it's not because of the law, and I know the law. It's because cop
intention to sell and shit. Honestly, it's not.
There's a lot of corruption going on.
There's a lot of corruption, but for the most part, I mean, this has happened to many people. It's obviously you get stopped with some weed. It's a civil citation. They write you out a ticket. You go to court, ACD. Sometimes they're dicks and they give you a misdemeanor, but at most it's a misdemeanor for the most part if it's under 25 grams. If it's over 25 grams, then it's a misdemeanor regardless. But that's not too bad compared to other states where it's a criminal offense. You know what I mean?
For example, a friend of mine was driving to Queens just a few days ago. And he got, for no reason, just got pulled over at 4:30 in the morning. They gave him a breathalyzer. They tore his whole car up. They got a drug-sniffing dog. All completely unnecessary. Kid didn't do anything wrong. He was just driving home after dropping people off. Got pulled over. His car got torn apart. Now, if that's not skullduggery of the highest kind, I don't know what is.
Yeah, absolutely. It's unnecessary. We have 380,000 people in jail for non-violent crimes. We're really just wasting a lot of money. We should definitely reform our drug laws and our prison laws in general. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we understand that the COs, the correction officers, have a very powerful lobby and union and everything. But I mean, at one point, you got to put your foot down and say to them, like, you know, we're wasting a lot of money on jailing innocent people. Let's cut that out.
And to get back to just to reiterate, I think the only thing the federal government should be controlling is the Supreme Court and the military. That's it.
Well, you're right. They need to be, the defense has to be done through the federal government, which is fine. The Supreme Court, you need someone to kind of overlook laws and shit. And I would say that you need to have someone like an SEC and an
financial regulatory commission.
Financial and also not only financial but also like what's it called? Safe health of food and like drugs.
But you could do health on a state level too.
You could, but I don't think it's too much. There's too much corruption there. I think you need someone nationally to overlook a lot of these bigger companies that have several dozen different companies and different subsidiaries, different factories. You kind of need something national, like the FDA, Federal Food and Drug Administration. You kind of need that. You kind of need that on a national level. It needs to be cut down somewhat, but I think they actually don't. They need to be more diligent. They need to be less involved with these companies on the level so they can do their job better. Because right now there's a lot of corruption, and they need to kind of just get people who are trustworthy to run these industries, run
Yeah,
these companies.
there's
because
not a
right
lot
now-
of people who are
I
trustworthy.
know it's difficult.
Because everybody's looking out for their own motherfucking interest.
Yeah,
That's
but
exactly
still,
what's happening.
If they're compensated well enough, they wouldn't be doing that. They would just do their job correctly.
To each and every boardroom, what's happening?
Yeah, SEC and the FDA are kind of necessary, but you know what? Obviously, they need to be
The
expanded.
SEC, first off, are a bunch of fucking assholes.
Exactly,
If they were
but they
doing
need
their
to be
job
there.
properly,
I know,
we
it wouldn't
wouldn't
have
be in this
happened.
fucking mess in the first place.
But imagine they didn't
All right?
exist. Then things would be even further out of control. You know what I mean? But let's be happy that we have them at all. So things are somewhat that they have some regulation. You know what I mean? Which is barely anything. Imagine if there was no SEC. We'd be totally fucked. There'd be like 7 rich people in the world, and that's it.
You could probably get some regulation on the black market, though.
Yeah, you get your fucking knees broken. Yeah, bro,
The
that's
black market's
the
more
easiest
regulated
regulation
than the financial
ever.
market.
Absolutely, because there's the law of nature. That's the beauty of it.
It's like, hey, you don't pay me back this money, you're gonna break fucking legs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. But the SEC, they send them to blue collar resorts instead. So I guess it's not as it's not as much of a
Club
fear tactic. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna hit this bong. Why don't you take over for a second? All right, let's take a break on that note.
Yep, we'll be right back after this.
How you like me now? We're back.
We're back.
Can you splice it in later though?
Man, absolutely.
That's your new tagline, bro. Can we splice it in later?
I can and I will.
Let me hear that splice line.
No, I can't right now. I can't.
Yeah.
We're not set up to do the soundboard like that yet.
Yeah, all right. Don't tell them about a deficiency.
I'll
Let's
have to
talk about-
splice it in later.
So, have you ever gotten stuck in the mud?
Um,
Literally.
Driving, walking,
Yeah, walking.
crawling. Yeah, I've got stuck in the mud walking.
All right. Well, a homeless man in New Mexico got stuck in the mud for 3 days in the Rio Grande River. That sucks.
I've
Not
got
only is he
stuck
homeless,
in the mud a couple of times in a car too.
but technically that was his home for that 3 day
Jungle
period.
mud is very slippery.
That mud became his home. He was homeless prior, and then he spent 3 days in the mud. Technically, that is his home.
I thought that was a spa.
No, he was not that lucky. But a high school kid spotted him, and he was rescued.
You know who wasn't as lucky? The dude from 127 Hours. Who got
Yeah.
his leg pinned between the rock and the
That did
cliff.
suck. But he's okay now. Doesn't he have a prosthetic leg or some shit?
I have no clue.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw him like that.
I didn't follow up on the story.
Well, why would you?
I don't know.
That was his 15 minutes of fame. It was his past. Not the
I've also
future.
watched the History Channel documentary yesterday. That I bootlegged on the internet.
Can you
but
really
I'll
call it
get-
a documentary?
That I
from the History
bootlegged from the
Channel?
internet, but we'll get into that a little bit later.
Can you really call it a documentary if it's
Remember
from the
that-
History Channel?
Not if it's ancient aliens, but a lot of, and not like Top Shot, but a lot of other shows maybe.
Like American Pickers?
Not like porn stars.
How's that historical? Like, in what? Because people...
Yeah, they just like buy and sell garbage.
Yeah, there's nothing history about it. I mean, maybe sometimes they'll have some kind of artifact that involves history in some fucking, like, really minuscule manner, but, like, everything else is just like, oh, this is, Or, you know, fucking chocolates from 1912. Like, that's not historical. That's just some really old-ass chocolates.
Why, they sold that one time?
Dude, it's all I don't know. It's all kind of ridiculous. Fucking knickknacks and shit.
Go to the Cavassier plant or at Hennessy in France.
Yeah.
They show you the really old bottles. Be like, what? Those are old. I'll pay like $50 for them.
Yeah, well, listen. Liquor's like no other, you know, it actually gets better with age as opposed to everything else. Maybe some cheese, I guess.
But that gets better with age.
Some cheese, not all cheese, you know, not like American cheese. You know what I mean? Like blue cheese is good with age, and some Goudas and stuff like that.
Goudas?
Yeah.
That's
Aged Gouda. Aged Gouda.
Oh, that's a cheese?
Yeah. What do you? I describe the taste. It's a little nutty. Has like some earthy overtones. That's like those wine descriptions. All that shit is bullshit.
Like, is there some kind of underlying message to that? Are you saying it tastes like shit?
I'm saying that like all these like wine critics and everything like that, they're full of shit. Like, you know what I mean? They describe all these wines in these like, intricate manners. I could definitely
be a cheese critic.
Cheese is different though. Cheese, actually, you could definitely taste the difference between cheeses. Like, if you eat a Munster cheese and like a cheddar cheese, you know which one's which.
Tesco's taste the difference cheese.
Wines aren't really like that. Most wines taste very similar. And then, like, they talk about, like, oh, there's a hint of apricot and pomegranate. And it's like, no, there isn't. It just tastes like wine. What the fuck are you talking about? There's no hint of apricot. Have you ever tasted an apricot, sir? You have not, obviously, because this wine tastes nothing like an apricot.
It doesn't, right?
It does. I never have. I read these descriptions, like, fermented rose petals and blah, blah, blah. It's like, and I still taste it. It's like, I don't know what roses taste like, but that wasn't it.
Why would you want all that crap in your wine anyways?
Dude, wine is crazy. They have all kinds of different wines with all kinds of, and critics talk about. You ever read a critic's review of a wine? Oh, this wine has this impeccable sharpness. Like, oh, it's bitter. So this wine is bitter. Is basically what you're saying. Impeccable sharpness with overtones of pomegranate and myrrh. And like, what overtones? There is no overtones of anything in this wine.
Isn't myrrh what one of the three wise men gave to during the birth of Jesus?
So it's an herb. It's a spice.
Myrrh.
It's a spice.
Yep. I don't see like Gordon Ramsay using it in cooking and shit.
Well, wine description is its own little fucking world.
We don't want that inside out.
You ever read like a wine description? That's what they talk about. Oh, these like they taste these like flavors which are non-existent, and there's overtones and like
with slight overtones of juniper berry.
Yeah, it's like all this nonsense. Like, no, it's wine. It tastes like fermented grape juice. Okay, take it easy, buddy.
So, folks, if you thought Sopo was bad. That was nothing. Here
G9D's coming.
Here comes ACTA. It's a new bill that they're trying to pass on a global scale.
Can you imagine your internet service provider policing everything you do online? Can you imagine generic drugs that could save lives being banned? Can you imagine seeds that could feed thousands being controlled and withheld in the name of patents? This will become reality with ACTA. ACTA is the Anti-Counterfeiting Trade Agreement. Disguised as a trade agreement, ACTA goes much, much further than that. For the past 3 years, ACTA has been negotiated in secret by 39 countries. But the negotiators are not democratically elected representatives. They don't represent us, but they are deciding laws behind our backs. Bypassing our democratic processes, they impose new criminal sanctions to stop online file sharing. ACTA aims to make internet service and access providers legally responsible for what their users do online, turning them into private copyright police and judge, censoring their networks. The chilling effects on free speech would be terrible. In the name of patents, ACTA would give large corporations the power to stop generic drugs before they reach the people who need them, and to stop the use of certain seeds for crops. The European Parliament will soon vote on ACTA. This vote will be the occasion to say no, once and for all, to this dangerous treaty. As citizens, we must urge our representatives to reject ACTA.
It's always a bad idea. Anything on a global scale. Because people in other countries don't have the same sentimentalities of Americans. And we don't have the same fucking I don't know what we're missing, but we're missing a lot of it as other countries. So I don't think it's gonna work. I hate this policing the globe bullshit. It's like America's trying to make its laws everywhere. It's like the UN is the worst idea ever because the richest countries just buy out the UN and everything else doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
That's all it is. All these countries are taking advantage of IMF, World Bank, all this nonsense and loans they give out, and just fucking take control of the resources. That's all it is about. And this is no different. This ACTA thing, ACTA, any kind of U.S. drug policy, which they police all over the world, it's all the same. They're just trying to make things uniform. It's all leading to one disastrous ending, probably. But
One
here we are.
Clusterfuck.
Yeah, that's why we're here talking about it, so people are aware and people are actually active, do things properly, and make sure the government's in check.
Well, you're just here to be the activist. I'm just here to smoke and talk.
Well, I've been doing that, my share of that as well, sir.
Yes.
It's true.
Well, activist pretty bad, bro.
Yeah, well, give us some details here.
Well, you just heard the clip.
Yes, it's true. Well, no, we're going to play the clip in a few minutes, actually, guys. Calm down.
In a few minutes.
In a few seconds. How about that? Is that better?
All right, let me explain this. I've already seen the clip.
All right, well, what's your thoughts
And
on
the
it?
idea behind it was for you to just bullshit your way through it. So, because I kind of already set it up to the point where I play the clip. And we're
No,
kinda, like,
nonsense,
continuing to
bro.
comment on it.
What do you think, though?
What do I
Don't
think?
explain to me how the technology works.
I think it doesn't matter what I think.
No, it does matter. We want to hear your opinion, bro. Come on, this is what it's all about.
I want to hear your opinion.
I'm not
Write to
familiar
us
with it.
on our
I'm not,
Facebook page.
not familiar with the specifics of this bill. I know what SOPA is and EPA. I mean, I'm familiar with those.
It's kind of like soap, except this time when you drop it, you really get fucked.
But they give it a less obvious name. It's less conspicuous.
Acta.
Yeah.
You know
Don't
they
act
mean
the fool.
they know you know they mean business with that kind of.
No,
name.
act the fool, bro. That's what they're trying to say. This is the ACTA right here. Don't act the fool. Don't do nothing foolish on the
Trying to
internet.
Act up.
Don't act up. Exactly.
The government's a beasting right now.
I think we should institute this religion of downloading that we talked about. Let's bring that to America. Maybe
Yes,
people.
we should.
Maybe we can not pay taxes like everyone other asshole out there. What is? Yeah, well, we should rename it though because they have a stupid name. We should just rename it, think of it ourselves. They wouldn't mind. They didn't copyright that shit.
Don't the movie companies still make a whole bottle of money? Why are they complaining?
Yeah, no, it's true. The last time I heard, Tom Cruise got paid like $73 million for a movie. Fuck that shit. If he's making $73 million, you guys are not doing that bad. Because he ain't worth it, I'll be honest with you.
And I think that artists should make their money touring, and they should put out music just so people like them.
And that's how most musicians make money anyway. at
Fuck
this point.
selling, not like albums, broadcast.
Only
everything
independent
online.
bands like Collective Soul and like Immortal Technique actually made any money off their albums. Everyone else makes money off touring and promotions and all kinds of other like sales, merchandise and shit like that. Like
Beatport.
on average, like an artist who like is on the Billboard charts makes maybe 10% of all his money from CD sales. Everything else is merchandise and touring. And still, merchandise and touring account for pretty decent. You can make a good living doing merchandise and touring and selling, CDs at the fucking venue and shit like that.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
for the most part, once it goes to a record store or iTunes or whatever, the record company makes a lot more money than the artist at that point.
That's true.
And now they're actually saving money because they don't have to, print as many CDs. Because digital downloads are like really, really, they count towards that shit too. And they're making money off digital downloads. They're just little bitches. They can't adapt quick enough. Adapt or die. Lesson learned. Lesson learned.
I don't know. I think they should focus on putting on crazy shows rather than charging money for music. Which you want me to listen to your shit to to go to your shows in the first place, right?
And let's put it this way. Music, for the most part, makes also a lot of money through licensing. Whereas like a movie or a video game uses a song.
Exactly.
Like Madden or Call of Duty, whatever.
Let me, the common man, listen to it for free.
Yeah, exactly. Because we're not reselling it, but think about it. Thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of people are playing these video games, watching movies with songs in them. And they make a lot of money off of licensing those songs to movies, because obviously you can't have like a movie without songs in it. Unless it's like really depressing. You know what I mean? Every movie has a soundtrack. If you watch the titles, with the whatever, they always list like 14 movies that were in that movie. 14 songs that were in that movie. So
Which movie?
any movie you take, any random movie, there's a soundtrack and a score. The score is not really, that's more like composers and stuff, but they get paid on that as well. But the
That's
soundtrack,
like the orchestra that's playing the dramatic scenes and whatnot.
exactly, like the actual score to the movie is like they do this in the Oscars. They give you like best score. That's the movie. That's the music that's actually taking place in the movies.
That's
Usually
like
it's
having the
instrumental.
award for the best menu screen in the video game.
But a soundtrack is a soundtrack to a movie. That song doesn't necessarily have to be in the movie itself, believe it or not. So, I mean, usually they are, like in the intro scenes or something like that, but sometimes they're not. It's a little weird. A soundtrack is supposed to be like songs for the movie, but they're not necessarily in the movie, which kind of is weird. But most soundtracks are songs that were already released by artists on albums. Rarely does an artist make a song for a soundtrack specifically. It does happen sometimes, though.
Sometimes.
Yeah, so like for example, there was a Bond movie a few years ago, and I think that Chris Cornell made a song for it. It was specifically for the soundtrack. There was
I can't think of a song that I don't want to hear less than that.
I really don't. Well, I mean, there's been some successful soundtracks. The Armageddon soundtrack had Aerosmith on it. That was an original song for that soundtrack. I mean, it wasn't like a great song, but it wasn't. You know, it did really well. That was one of the best
It was
songs.
a popular song.
Very popular.
It was on
song.
some Simon Cowell type shit.
Yeah, it was very. It was huge, obviously.
It's huge on American Idol.
And yeah, and he's on it now. Believe it or not, ironically, Steven
That's
Tyler.
Good. I didn't. You see, I forgot that.
Yeah, see,
I don't watch the show.
I mean, either, but he's on it. I don't. I know. I respect Steven Tyler. I'm not really a huge fan of him doing American Idol, but I respect him as an artist. I feel like Aerosmith is underappreciated at times because some of their early '70s stuff, like Ragdoll, was really, really good. The lyrics were really fast, and it was kind of had this hip hop element to the way he was spitting it, because it was really fast lyrics. He was the first one of the first bands to do this, and obviously later on they worked with Run DMC, so there was a precursor to that. So I give Aerosmith a lot of credit, even though Steven Tyler, his daughter's hot. I'll give him that. So I mean, no problem.
Yeah. Hashtag FTW.
Exactly.
That's right.
But yeah, no soundtracks. There's been some big soundtracks, obviously. Titanic soundtrack.
Fuck that soundtrack.
Yeah, well, it's terrible.
And
but,
the movie especially.
Yeah, no, I have never seen it. Believe it or not, after all these years, I have refused to go see Titanic, and no matter what. To the day I die, I want you to put on my tombstone, did not see Titanic. I don't give a shit. Even though everyone's seen it. Actually, don't bury me. Just throw my ashes into the Jamaican river. Don't waste this
Does
land.
Jamaica even have rivers?
Yeah, probably.
Oh,
Any
yeah,
river.
like
It doesn't have to be
tributaries.
the Jamaican river. Like, spill my ashes into the Ocho Rio waterfall. If you're still alive. Yeah.
Last week it was the Aita and Blanca interchange. And this week it's this.
No.
How do you come up with these names for things?
That's the truth, bro. The Ocho Rios waterfalls, that's the real waterfalls in Jamaica. Those are the big ones. Why not?
Okay.
That's a good spot.
I believe you.
Yeah.
You love them Rastas.
I love the Rastas. I met a Rasta when I was in Jamaica. Troy.
You practically are a Rasta.
I went to a plantation. Yeah, I know. We're just missing the dreads. That's all.
Or the rest of it, that is. A little bit.
Yeah. So, no, I mean, Jamaica's a great place. I went to a plantation. They have everything growing over there. Okra, melons, like, all kinds of, like, cocoa and shit. We were, like, feasting over there.
Cocoa.
Yeah. Like, actual cocoa. They're, like, the real, before it's chocolate. Oh, man, this shit is good. But it's, like, really, really, really better. It's, like, chocolate, like, superpower, black chocolate, like, dark chocolate. To the
Whoa.
extreme. It's crazy. It was a fun place, though. You know, in Jamaica, you can grow weed. It'll dry in the sun. You don't have to dry it. You just take it and smoke it. It's amazing. If you let it sit on the actual, like, stalk for a little longer, it just dries on its own because of the sun. It's amazing. It's like the most natural process. It's beautiful, bro. Like, you take it off the stalk. You break off the stem. You just fold it up.
Right.
You take it. You don't need to dry it. It's dried. And it's dried it's not at all, like, it's to perfection. It's just a little crispy. It's so, like, perfect. It doesn't, no artificial light. It's the sun.
You're doing the connoisseur hand thing, where you put your freaking thumb to your freaking middle finger.
It was very
Make a little
connoisseur. It's fucking molto bene over here. You know what I'm saying? I can't even describe that shit. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty amazing.
I had a great time. So, for sure. One of the best, one of my favorite vacations of all time. Definitely.
Jamaica.
Yeah, definitely. That's up there with Burning Man in Amsterdam. Jamaica was a lot of fun.
Amsterdam's can be hard to beat.
Yeah, no, it's up there. It's top. I can't even rate these things anymore. I just kind of go with the flow.
Yeah.
Everything's pretty enjoyable.
Everything's cool, yeah. It's all
no
good.
problem. I have no problem with that.
The phrase that sums it up the best, pretty much. It's all good.
Yeah. So times are tough apparently in the medicinal industry. A dentist in Massachusetts admits that Massachusetts. Yeah, bro. I'm swearing my words. Sorry about that. He admits to using paper clips instead of root canals to keep fake, steel, teeth in place or whatever.
Well, a judge released Claire on $10,000 personal recognizance and allowed him to return home to Maryland as his criminal case continues in Massachusetts. Dr. Michael Clare maintains his innocence in New Bedford Superior Court. The former Fall River dentist is facing multiple charges, including assault and battery for allegedly placing paper clips in patients' mouths during root canals to save money. Clare, who practiced out of Harbor Dental Care in the New Harbor Mall, is also accused of making $130,000 in false Medicaid claims between 2003 and 2005. Prosecutors say Clare also prescribed drugs illegally to staffers who then returned the medications to him. One of Claire's alleged victims, 20-year-old Joshua Almeida, spoke exclusively with Eyewitness News after the allegations first surfaced last month.
I didn't know. I was shocked to hear that I had paper clips in my mouth.
Almeida's mother, Brenda, sat in court today and says she'll follow the case closely until her son gets justice.
And I trusted him, and for what he did to my kids, I mean, I'm just shocked.
I just wish he never did it.
And Clare will be back in court in June. His lawyer tells us the Attorney General's office still owes him a significant amount of evidence related to the case.
And he got sued for a lot of money. He got sued for $130,000.
Nice.
That kind of sucks. But yeah, from now on, are you really going to... How are you going to pull that off?
He got sued for $130,000 plus the legal bill.
How are you going to pull that off using two...
The legal bill is
that's
going to be
impressive.
like a 5-figure thing.
If this actually worked, this paperclip thing, that's pretty good. That is pretty good if this paperclip thing actually worked. Because he really, saved a lot of money, but he got caught in the end.
This is true.
All right, you want to take a quick break?
Sure.
Let's do it.
We'll be right back after this.